what's up, people? Here again to do another movie review. We've been on the subject of dinosaur movies, and man, do I have a dinosaur movie here for you guys. It comes from Japan, so that's something really special, right? I think this is probably our first foreign film that I reviewed. No, I think When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth was made in Italy. I didn't do my research. Anyways, today we got Legends of the Dinosaurs and Monster Birds. Yeah, that's kind of a weird name for a movie, right? Legend of the Dinosaurs and Monster Birds, because there's only one dinosaur and one monster bird. So I don't know why there's dinosaurs and birds. Anyways, so let me tell you a little bit about how I found out about this movie, because it's really strange. This movie is actually really dark, and I would consider it a horror movie just because it has horror elements. It's sort of like Jaws, where you really don't see the dinosaur. And it's a plesiosaur, so it can go in and out of water. I don't know if plesiosaurs can really do that, but in this movie they do. So anyways, there was a production company called Just for Kid Video, and they did a lot of obscure 80s cartoons. One that I remember was the Ghostbusters, but it wasn't Slimer and the real Ghostbusters. It was that other Ghostbuster cartoons that no one really knows about. It starred like two guys and a gorilla, and they're fighting like 80 style type ghosts. You know, like the ghosts have like puffy hair and they look something out of an 80s movie. It's really strange, but entertaining, I guess. It was done by Filmation, who also did Masters of the Universe and all those other good things too. So they had a production company called Just for Kids, and it put out those cartoons. But it also put out Gamera movies. If you don't know who Gamera is the Kmart Godzilla. It's a turtle who breathes fire, flies in the air. It's just like Godzilla movies, except they're really geared towards children. Anyways, as a kid, I bought this Gamera movie, and I was really excited, and I came home, I watched it, and it said, hey, be prepared for the previews at the end of the movie. So after you watch, all the credits and stuff, there's previews of different movies that you can get. Of course, they were all movies from Japan. One was like a Planet of the Apes wannabe. The other one was like a Star Wars type film. And then they had one called Legends of the Dinosaurs. It wasn't called Monster Birds. It was just Legends of the Dinosaurs. So, yeah, I wanted it. I mean, I was a dinosaur fanatic as a kid, so I really, really wanted this movie. And the preview made it look like it was fun and cheerful, and it had like, silly music playing, and it just looked cool. So then my mom went and we found it, and I bought it probably for like $2. I mean, these movies were really bad. I got home and I watched it, and I realized, wow, what a terrifying movie. It really scared me as a kid. Even now as an adult, there's just some eerie, creepy, disturbing scenes in the movie that I couldn't believe was made for kids or geared towards kids. Anyways, I don't have the original copy anymore because, I don't know, I just got rid of it. But I do remember that there is one scene in the original copy that's different from, or the dub copy that's different from this copy right here. And this is totally a random scene. And I'm going to let you in on this scene before I tell you about the movie. But what happens is that there's this girl who comes out of the shower. She's getting dressed, and the dinosaur passes her window. It goes like this, and it goes like that. And then she kind of notices the shadow, so she turns around. Then you see like this giant dinosaur head pushing in, and I guess it kills her. I don't know. You really don't see. But anyways, they actually show her naked in the Japanese film. In this one right here. So you get to see some boobs, but it's kind of weird too, because I would say in most horror movies it's usually a young girl or a very attractive girl that gets naked. In this movie, she's kind of average, maybe in her 30s. She's not slim, she's chubby. There's nothing wrong with that, but I just thought that was... I didn't really see the point of showing her naked. I mean, just her getting dressed and seeing her in her bra and panties was, a little risque for my taste, especially as a kid. So, I mean, seeing her naked for the first time was really like, wow, that's uncalled for. And she has nothing to do with the movie. She's just a random victim. But, I mean, it's just really weird. And if you watch the movie and watch that scene, you might say, yeah, it doesn't fit in. Anyways, let's get to the plot of the movie. The plot of the movie is crazy, but it's a big mix-up of real-life facts, Japanese folklore, and maybe fantasy all rolled up together. It's about this forest in Mount Fuji, which is known for people committing suicide. In the dub version, it's just talked about, they're just kids that go up there and get killed because they're not being safe. But in the actually Japanese version, it does talk about them going up there to commit suicide. So this girl goes up there, whether to commit suicide or explore, we really don't know because it doesn't really show us that she's going to commit suicide. But we don't know if she's might. I mean, the place is known for committing suicide. That's like someone walking to a house that sells drugs. I mean, we don't know if they know that place sells drugs. We don't know if they were going to buy drugs or do drugs. We can assume that they're going to buy drugs. But anyways, she goes around, she falls into a cavern, and then she notices this large egg, and the closer she gets to it, it cracks. And then all of a sudden she looks in, she sees a giant eye looking at her. She somehow escapes, and she starts telling the whole world about how she saw this giant egg with an eyeball in it. So what happens is that there's this guy, I don't know what his job is, I think he's a geologist. I don't know, he's doing something with diamonds, but when he hears about this giant egg with an eye in it, he wants to go back and see it because his dad was an archaeologist who always said, I'm going to find a real life dinosaur. And he kind of passed that on to his son. So now his son is trying to live his father's legacy and wants to find a real life dinosaur as well. So he goes and he does this investigation. While he's doing his investigation, you meet a lot of people, and he ends up meeting some girl that he's known before. I don't know. She's like a college student, but he's like an old man. I mean, the story is really weird, but the dinosaur itself is a plesiosaurus, which means it's kind of like a fish dinosaur, brontosaurus hybrid type thing. Has a long neck with a fish body. It's what the Loch Ness Monster is supposed to be. Anyways, so the parts are pretty cool. It kind of does the Jaws thing. There's these people out on a boat and they're having fun and then they get killed. There's animals disappearing and all this stuff. But here's a real disturbing scene. This poor girl is riding her bike with her dog, and then all of a sudden her dog takes off barking. So she starts following the dog and ends up falling off her bike and lands in a puddle of blood. And then she looks over and she sees a dead horse with no head. As a kid, that was scary. Anyways, she gets back home and everybody's like, there was no dead horse, there was no puddle of blood, like, hey man, relax. So then the guy ends up going back, the geologist ends up going back, and he looks for the dead horse. He can't find it. He finds like little worms or moss and blood or something. He feels something in the back of the neck. He looks up, and the dead horse is in the tree. It doesn't make any sense. I guess what also pushes the movie to, what pushes people not to believe the dinosaur story or the monster story is that there's a festival going on, and it's celebrating the festival of the Red Dragon, where a dragon comes out of the lake and all this stuff. So everybody thinks that this is just pranks and all that kind of stuff. Here's a scene where these two guys, they pull a prank, and when they're swimming back to meet their friend, they actually do get attacked by the dinosaur, which is, of course, another disturbing scene because the dinosaur raises his head out of the water with both bodies hanging out of his mouth and kind of like showing the guy who's watching everything like, yeah, I got your friend. So it's really, really disturbing movie for kids, man. I couldn't believe I saw this as a kid. But anyways, I want to talk about the most disturbing scene in the movie, and it's really weird. So there's two girls. One of them, of course, was a girl that fell in the blood. The other one is the friend of the geologist. I don't know. They're doing tests and all this kind of crazy stuff. One girl is kind of doing like a report on the different cultures and the monster and all that, but the folklore stuff. So she's talking to people and asking them questions about the legends they heard about. The other girl's doing research on the lake itself. And she's kind of doing all this, you know, I don't know what type of research they're doing. I just know they're doing research. So there's this scene where they're going to go out and the girls are like, oh, I'm going to go scuba diving in the lake because I need to go like do my research on the fish and figure out why they're dying. And the other girls, that's cool. I'll just wait for you up here on this raft and listen to this song that I recorded earlier. So the girl's listening to the song and she's lying in her raft. There's fog all around. There's already rumors that there's a dinosaur floating around in the ocean, so I really don't know why they're out there. I mean, not the ocean, the lake. I really don't know why they're out there, but she's just sitting out there in the raft, listening to her music. There's fog all around. She can't see anything. Then she hears a sloshing in the water. Then all of a sudden, the dinosaur appears. But it's really disturbing because the music is like this weird, sensual, jazzy type music. It almost sounds, I don't know, something that you would hear in a porn film. It's disturbing. And then, like, everything's slow motion. Like, you see the dinosaur raise its head out of the water in slow motion. And they have weird angle shots where you can't really see it. You kind of, like, see the neck. You see the eye. You can see the throat as it's, like, swallowing. I don't know what it's swallowing, but it's moving. It's breathing. It has a low growl. Oh, and the girl's just screaming in terror. And I mean, it's the whole time this is going on, the other girls in the bottom of the lake has no clue what's happening. Then all of a sudden, it reaches for her and it grabs her leg and it pulls her up. And the girl's like fighting and screaming. And it just like all of a sudden like takes her into the water. And you see the girl and she's trying to stay afloat. Then all of a sudden, you just see like blood surrounding her. I mean, like I said, this was in the child version too, you know, the one that I had from Just a Kid's video. So, man, this is really disturbing. Anyways, the other girl comes back up, gets into the raft, can't see her friend, and starts calling out from her. She can't see anything because of the fog, and you hear the girl screaming, and you hear the girl yelling, you hear the dinosaur roaring, and then all of a sudden you see a hand come out of the water and start reaching for the raft. So the girl quickly goes over there, pulls up her friend, but just ends up pulling up half her body. And you see it, like she pulls up her body and it like falls right there in front of her. And it's like all fleshy and eaten and stuff. And like I said, this was in the kids' video too. So to see it now as an adult, it's kind of shocking. But back then it was, wow, what the hell am I watching? Anyways, it's a really good movie and it's really horrifying, but then they kind of wrap it up at the end. And I'll tell you what the ending is because it makes no sense. So these other two guys go looking for the cave. They find it. They find another egg, and then all of a sudden this, I don't know, dinosaur bird comes out. I don't know what it is. It might be a Rhamphorhynchus, it might be a pterodactyl, a pterodactyl, or it might be another species of flying dinosaur. Then it kills them, and then where the other dinosaur grew, this dinosaur is fully grown already. And so then it just flies out and starts, you know, terrorizing. And they actually predict this in the movie. The guy goes, if there's a plesiosaurus, one of these flying babies are going to be going around killing people. You can expect this. That's no explanation. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, because one dinosaur is born, another dinosaur is born. I think this is kind of like where Pokemon got its idea from. Like, oh, if you have this Pokemon, you also have this Pokemon. The two have to coexist. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Anyway, so now you have this dinosaur flying around terrorizing people. You have the plesiosaurus stalking these other people. Then they meet. The plesiosaurus is actually looking for the last two people. It's kind of like chasing them, the people that were looking for him. And it's chasing them, and then all of a sudden the giant bird comes out of nowhere. And, of course, we have another monster fight. But, I mean, this is obscure. This is two dinosaurs that really can't fight. I mean, if you've ever seen dinosaur movies, it's usually a Triceratops and a T-Rex, or a Stegosaurus and a T-Rex. It's a good fight. Here you have a Plesiosaurus and this winged dinosaur. What are they going to do? Plesiosaurus is just lifting up his head. The other one seems to be dancing around. Doesn't make any sense. Last, the Plesiosaurus kills the dinosaur bird. I don't know what kind of species it is, so it just kills it. And then all of a sudden you think, okay, now what's going to happen? Well, Mount Fuji decides to erupt out of nowhere. Yeah, let's just blow everything up. So now all of a sudden there's earthquakes and the Mount Fuji's blowing up. There's lava all over the place. the earth opens up and the plesiosaurus falls down. Meanwhile, there's this cheesy Japanese ballad song playing in the background. The guy and the girl, they get separated. They're trying to get back to each other. They're reaching for each other. They're reaching hands. They're yelling each other's name. All of a sudden, they grab onto each other, and it's the end. That's it. It ends. They grab each other's arm. There's stock footage of lava, and it just says the end. That's it. Right? You're just going to end it? Like that? I mean, that's what I paid my money for? I paid $2 to see that? I paid $14.99 for this version? And that's the same thing? What a letdown. The end of the movie, it's really bad. In fact, I would say this movie's really good up until a certain point, and then that's it. Don't even bother watching it. And it's kind of like when they find out the dinosaur's alive and that it's real and that there's bodies and stuff. They just stop it there because it doesn't get any better. Anyways, the beginning of the movie and the movie itself, although it's cheesy in some parts, it's really creepy, it's really horrifying, and it has this really dark atmosphere that's scary. The dinosaur itself looks pretty good. I mean, I think this movie was made in the 70s, so it looks pretty good, and the special effects are awesome. And except until the end, it just gets really bad. The whole dinosaur fight thing, it's terrible. Anyways, what I like about this one is that it's a double disc, but all it is, the second disc is just trailers to other movies by Tokyo Shock. But this might be a little bit more entertaining than the real movie itself. Anyways, so yeah, that's it. It's definitely something unique. I think any fans of Japanese monster movies would like this. They'll understand it. I think anybody who enjoys dinosaur movies will like this. For horror fans who want to see a different horror movie, this is really good until a certain point. Then you should turn it off. Or if you want to just watch it, watch it. But really, it's a good movie, I guess, until a certain point. Then it sucks. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, you get to see somewhat gore and stuff. Like I said, for a kid's movie, no, this movie's terrifying. I wouldn't show this to any kid. But, for an adult, yeah, give it a shot. But anyways, that's it. Well, I hope you liked that review. It's something different. But what I want to tell you now is that October's coming up. In fact, I think next week already, October's starting. So we're going to put a hold on my movie review. And we're actually going to be doing a horror movie review. I'm going to try to do the horror movie challenge, which is every day in October I'm going to review a horror movie. I'm not going to do anything specific. I'm just going to look at different horror movies that I have, and I'm going to try to review just one every day. Maybe it'll be a quick review. I might not get into big details about it. But anybody who has Instagram can follow me at Bob all caps is gone. That's Bob all caps is gone. I'm going to be doing a horror movie challenge there. I already posted the horror movie list. But I'm going to post it again, and it's just a list of horror movies. Every day, take a picture of whatever the list is asking. It has to be a horror movie, of course. But also, you can even take a video, because you can do video now. So if you want to follow me on Instagram at Bob all caps is gone. Should be pretty easy to find. Yeah, stuff like that. And leave your comments below about any more dinosaur movies I should check out. Remember, like I said, we're taking a pause. So next month it's going to be all horror. And then hopefully we can go back to, my movie reviews the way I wanted it to go. I think I'm out of dinosaur movies, and I might have to jump to the next one. I'm not too sure yet. I got to look at my movie collection. But anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And I hope you guys have a terrific, wonderful Halloween, because it is coming up, and hopefully we'll be seeing a lot of each other then. All right? Bye.